What is up, man? Happy Sunday to y'all, bruh. I made a promise to y'all would come with a live at least every day. You know what I mean? Until I'm back uploading, man. Today we're talking about looks, appearance, you know what I'm saying? And how really appearance is kind of over exaggerated, bro.
Now in service.
You know, and the reason I say is over exaggerated, let me load the radio one second. Is because a lot of people kind of use it to judge others
Yeah, we're
or
in
or
second
or
floor,
like
north side.
idolize them. You
Lots
get what
of
I'm saying?
secretary.
And the
Nothing going
craziest part
on.
about looks is like, bro, the looks that God has given everyone is specific, meaning that in the process of creating people, bro, or whatsoever, God selected each and every one of our looks, man. What does that mean? That means like, yo, bro, when you go out there and somebody sees you and they don't like you because of how you look, your look doesn't belong to that person. It doesn't really belong to anyone but you. So a lot of the times people either use looks to either, like I said, idolize a person or judge a person. You know, there's so many people that I've heard them say, oh, I don't like that person because they look like this, but it's like you're not the creator of that person. So you have no say determination in that person's looks, bro. You know, a lot of the times most of these people that's judging other people's looks, they're not even up to par. When I say up to par, it's like they're not even taking care of themselves. They're not the most best looking, you know, or whatsoever. And it's kind of superficial, really, you know. And I feel like paying attention to somebody else's looks just kind of shows insecurity within yourself, man. It shows that, look, man, you personally might not like how you look, so it's better to focus on someone else's look. You know what I mean? Because if we think about looks, it's like, bro, my look is my look. The way you watching this live, listening to this live look, that's your look. You get what I mean? We each have our own looks, but a lot of the times I see people, man, they're just so superficial in a sense. You know what I mean? It's superficial, bro, because looks are superficial. Because it's like, for instance, let's say me and you go to the mall and we see the finest girl we ain't ever seen. It's like, of course, we just got like a dopamine rush, a happiness rush. When I say a happiness rush, is like this is appealing because we've never seen this girl. But if you and I went to school with that girl, lived in the neighborhood with that girl, rode the bus with that girl, bro, we wouldn't have the same reaction as someone who has never seen that girl. It's just like a quick infatuation, like a quick interest. You know what I'm saying? And it's too many people that kind of like basically, I don't know, judge people based on looks, bro. They don't even get to know a person. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna give you an example, bro. I used to DoorDash. I've judged people off of looks. I had to understand that I had to get beyond that because I wasn't so superficial, but it was like it's certain stereotypes. When I used to do DoorDash, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Not a lot of the black folks would tip. I'm black, bro. So you know, I'm going in certain neighborhoods. I'm already looking like, man, they ain't about to tip not $1. And it was a few times I would say I was kind of wrong in judging the people looks because, bro, it was this one black dude. I remember this man looked like he just did a 30-year bid. My boy came outside buff like the gorilla. He eating a banana, shirt off. I'm in the hood dropping his order off. I'm like, man, this man ain't even about to give me $1. You feel me? And I made that assumption based off of his look. You feel me? I'm like, this man ain't even gonna tip me $2. Bro ended up tipping me like $10. And he looked like a typical like hood thug, you feel me? And I'm like, cause when I went to the hood thugs crib, they wasn't tipping, gang. They like good looking, bro. I'm like, bro, I need $2. But I tell you that because it's not cool to judge somebody or idolize somebody based off their look. You really need to take time to get to know a person. You know, a lot of the people who are the most attractive looking, bro, they're very disgusting, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're very disgusting, man. And I've been around people who consider themselves to be very attractive looking, bro. And they treated people the most horrible. They treated people the worst. I remember I was cool. I was friends with this one dude. He had like a light skinned cat, man. He was overly into himself. You know what I mean? We went to high school together, played sports together, but just the ego of how he looked made him treat people a certain way, man. And it was times him and his girl, they'd be in the car, they arguing. He'd talk to his girl crazy like she just didn't matter. He could just leave her right now, and there'd be 50 women lined up for him. So as a result of that, he used to mistreat his girl, bro. He wanted to take her out the car. He'd tell her she was nothing, this and that. And it's like, bro, when that girl finally broke up with Buddy, he was crushed. My man's moved to a whole different state. You feel what I mean? But this a guy that I used to watch take forever to come out the crib. He got to slick his head back 3 times, and I'm looking like, bro. At the end of the day, don't get so caught up in how you look because at some point the shit gets old. You know what I mean? Like if you see somebody every day, they not looking as fine as once you once saw them. If that's making sense, like let's treat it with items. Let's say you get a new car today, you're gonna be excited. You want to drive that car, you want to ride around in that car, you want to be in that car. After a month, bro, that car is gonna be like any other car. So looks is kind of like a temporary thing, bro. And you shouldn't use that to kind of worship a person or treat a person bad. You should treat a person accordingly based on their character and principles and morals, bro. I'm telling you, your true identity lies within your character, your principles, and your morals. It does not lie in your looks. Your looks is only interesting to people, but that same look will be the reason why people despise you or they criticize you. They had certain perspective of you. Because I done it DoorDash, and every time I pull up to a nigga spot, I'm like, oh, this nigga ain't tipping. This nigga's a bum, you heard? And then surprisingly, it was a few dudes that showed me otherwise. I'm telling you. It was few guys that was right. I was on the money with them, but it's like, okay, that changed my perspective. Like, okay, I can't be going around dashing and having that expectations based on looks. Cause then it's gonna ruin how I treat the person. You get what I'm saying? Cause I ain't gonna lie. When I used to come and you somebody that's not tipping me, bro, I'm not having a conversation with you. I'm just dropping your stuff off. I'm going. A lot of the customers will try to talk to me, bro. And I'm only talking to people that's tipping because it's like, yo, that talking, that's extra time. The delivery, picking up your order, that's more time. Factoring, sitting here chatting with you, nah. You gotta be tipping, bro, because I'm putting extra energy up. So me having that mindset when I would go to certain people's crib, bro, I knew they wanted to talk to me. Bro, I'm not talking to them because they're not tipping. Some of them start to realize, like, okay, I gotta tip this guy for him to have a conversation. But that mindset was a bad mindset because it's like imagine me going to a spot not chatting with the person and I check the app then they done threw me they done threw me like $9. Sorry guys, I'm at work doing a lot. They threw me $9 and now I feel shitty because it's like, yo, I thought this person wasn't even gonna tip. They threw me a big tip, so I had to change the mindset. But these dudes is going crazy on the radio. That's how they are at work. They be beefing with each other. Nah, you see them going at it right now. They got one job, bro, to go get the guests. And a lot of the times there's a lot of bickering. And the job that we work at, bro, is a smooth job, but I don't think they like their position as well as they make it seem. You feel me? That's why y'all hear all the bickering back and forth. But we communicate on the radio. But looks, like I said, looks are literally temporary, bro. They're temporary, and you could be the most attractive person in the world, right? Peep this, and you could be a shitty individual. Like you treat people bad, you talk to people bad because you got this ego of a lot of people admiring you or idolizing you. Then God can literally shift your whole life. When I say shift your whole life, something catastrophic can happen to you, bro, where your looks become different, a deformity or accident, and then you get the other end of what you've been putting out. Like, oh, people despising you because how you look. People criticizing you how you look. At one point, they was idolizing you from how you look. So it's really a temporary thing. And then what you guys gotta understand is, bro, your looks is not your true self. It's just like it's like a shell, bro. it's like a shell that you live within. Like I live within this body. You know what I mean? Like what I truly look like for real, it's nothing like this. This is what I look like in the three-dimensional world, bro. Like this realm. I personally feel like gang, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like a giant. You feel me? And shout out to my guy, Mr. Keep It Simple, because he said something about this the other day. Like I'm really not the height that you see me or the look that you see me, and I personally believe that I'm something different, bro. So I never get caught up in my looks. That's why you guys on the channel, you sub up to the channel. I wear a mask for a reason, bro. It's not because I think I'm ugly or I'm deformed. It's because I know that's a superficial reason why somebody might gravitate towards me, and it doesn't provide the genuineness or really show my morality principle or like true beliefs, bruh, because that's my true identity at the end of the day. That's always going to be what determines who I am. My morals, my principles, and my true beliefs. They put me in a casket right now. Nobody after I've been gone for years is gonna be like, oh, he was so fine. Like they're gonna be like, man, we see YS was a shitty guy. You feel me? If that's what I am, or they're gonna be like, man, nah, YS was a good guy, bro. He always was there. He always treated people good, cause that's what's gonna matter. Like when you think about people that passed, you don't sit there and admire how attractive they was. You admire their character, their morals, their principles. How was this person to others? Did they respect others? Did they treat others with respect? This is your true identity. Don't let nobody fool you like all your looks is your true identity. That is not your true identity, bro. Because something can happen to you tomorrow. You could be literally deformed. When I say deformed, like not fully how you was prior. It happens all the time. People get in accidents. People yo, Dean, Machine Dean, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. How you hope you been too smooth, you feel me? But anything can happen to change your looks, is what I'm saying, bro. So if you're somebody who's totally caught up in how you look, infatuated with how you look, I'm telling you, like, you could get in a crazy accident and your face could look different. You know what I mean? Your eye could get popped out. Something crazy, you feel me? Because it's to show you that the way you look before is why people treated you like this, but now you look like this, people are treating you like this. Hey team, we have a party of one entering the lot. You know, sorry guys, I had to do these calls, man, work duties, but I don't want people to go around and let people stop them from how they get criticized on your look. Cause, bro, I'm telling you, there's people. When I was in middle school, bro, I'm telling you, we'd be in the bus, and I had friends that was on the bus, and some of the people would literally talk about them so crazy, bro, based on their look. They'd be like, "Oh, you fat, oh you this and that." And one of my best friends, he was dealing with weight issues. You know what I mean? My boy, my boy didn't have his pops around. His mom was cooking that good southern food, so he was dealing with weight issues. But it's like people wouldn't want to be his friends because of that. But I was friends with him. I don't care how much he weighs because he was a good guy. He was a true good guy, bro. It didn't matter that he was 300 pounds. None of that matters. The true characteristics, principles, and morals of my God was top notch. He had better characteristics than Brad Pitt. You get what I'm saying? And he said, I don't care how people think I look. I personally grow my hair and beard as long as it's a statement. Exactly. And Machine Dean, that statement that you just made right there is the mindset I want everybody to have. Your looks belong to you, bro. They don't belong to your coworker. They don't belong to your neighbor. They don't belong to your family. They don't belong to your cousin. They don't belong to your aunt. They belong to you. Meaning that everybody's gonna have an opinion, but they don't own that look. It's almost like it's a specific archetype that God has given to you that you only can alter, change, or possess. But people often let other people alter their looks. They might talk about your hair. Now you switching your hairstyle. You know what I mean? Even though you like a certain hairstyle, they might talk about your clothes. Now you switching up the way you dress. They might talk about the way you talk. Now you switching up the way you talk, and it's like, yo, bro, all that deals with who you are. Why let somebody else control that and they have their own looks to tend to? The crazier part about a lot of people that's judging other people's out there, bro, they have to worry about their looks. And a lot of these people, bro, they literally are not taking care of themselves. A lot of the times that people that go around judging other people how people look are not taking care of themselves, bro. I'm telling you. You know, I remember we worked at a garbage disposal. I worked at a garbage disposal job. It was this black dude, and this man, you know, he must have been eagle from the supervisor. Bro, the supervisor was a old white lady. She looked like she was ready to freak whoever would give her some Dino, bro. Dino is, you know, pipe. You know what I mean? And he took that to the full head. So as we all working at this garbage disposal, he started dissing one of my homies who had like a dingy shirt on. But my man's ain't no bum. You feel me? We working a garbage job. Why is my man's gonna show up to the garbage job fresher than that thing? We're literally sorting trash, bro. So my man put on some dirty clothes and then dude like, yeah, he look all dirty. Bro, we got gas mask on to not inhale the garbage. This man is literally talking about bro the whole time because of a shirt. That type of person, bro, they don't even like themselves because there is no need for him to be so concerned with my bro's look. It ain't like he making money off of that. It ain't like that's putting him in a better position in life. He should be worried about his look. And most people, bro, they are not worried about their look because they don't like their look. That's the truth, bro. They don't. The people that's gonna judge you on how you look, they don't like how they look, bro. No, nobody's gonna convince me. He's like, yeah, usually it's the people protecting their own insecurities. Exactly, Machine Dean. They don't like how they look because I'm gonna be honest with you. Anybody that like how they look, they don't care about how no one else looks unless it's attractive to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Think about it, right? Let me break that down. You're not gonna care about something that's unattractive naturally as a human. So what does that mean? Like, if I walk outside and I see a big pile of puke on the ground, I'm gonna be like, disregard. You know what I mean? But let's say I go outside and I see like a pound of some Gary Payton or something. I'm like, yo, I need a. So a lot of the times it's like, as a person, you're not paying attention to something you're not really attracted to. So the person that's literally judging you, they're attracted to you. They're attracted to your look. They like your look. They might even want your look. If they had a chance to have your look for one day, they might want that look for one day. I'm being honest with you. Think about it on like a real psychological standpoint, bro. Somebody that's not attracted to something is not constantly paying attention to that something. You feel what I'm saying? He said, exactly, bro. I get all types of comments because I got a big beard. Some people like shave it. Some people say I look like a Muslim. Yeah, bro, I got a long beard too. My beard kind of looks like King Tut. So every time I shave my head, my beard, I try to get the bottom to look like King Tut. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like that's my vibe. It's like Egyptian vibes, King Tut vibes, you know? And at the end of the day, it's people. I literally went to an interview. I swear, before I got this job, I went to an interview where I was working at a car wash, bro. Now, keep in mind, this is a car wash, a detailing place. We're literally washing, vacuuming cars. The interviewer looked like a young dude. He's like a young white dude. He's interviewing me. At first, everything is cool. You know what I mean? We talking about sports. We bouncing ideas off each other. Then he looks at my face, and bro, I shave in every week or so because my hair grows back fast. So of course I'm gonna be shaved for the interview. He said, "Look, we don't like people here that work here with beards that are more than 4 inches." Bro, my bed is barely 3. You feel me? And that's just what I prefer it to be. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at him like, how can he even determine that my beard is 4 inches? He just must not like the fact that I got a beard. What's and then, bro? It ain't like I'm working at corporate America, bro. We working in a car wash, homie. We sweating, we running, we gunning. You know what it is like working in a car wash. You got the detailing, you got the washers. You got somebody operating the automatic jump. This ain't no beauty contest, man. My boy talking about me having a beard. Nah, he just must not like how I look, or he must be intrigued with how I look. You know what I mean? So I told him, I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna cut my beard, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He said it shouldn't even matter, Dean. You feel me? Like, what's up with bro? He tripping about a gold tee. My joint look like a gold, like a yo, Dean. My joint look like a gold tee, bro. I ain't in there, James Harden. Even if I was in there, James Harden, bro, we working at a car wash, buddy. You're bugging out. I could understand if we working with the what's those guys
Okay,
the
508.
shareholders. I don't know those those rich guys, man. I forgot the name, man. Those Black Rock guys. You know the Black Rock guys. I don't know what they call, but those type of guys who you gotta be fully well groomed and all this other stuff for. But this man was tripping off a gold tee. So I literally was like, nah, this man's either super attracted to my beard or he might not like how I look. Because when a person is truly concerned with how you look, it's one or the other, bro. It's one or the other. They just secretly might love you, Machine Dean, or they just like how you look, so they gotta hate you. Because nobody that is a human being is paying attention to something they do not like. Think about it, bro. You not paying attention to something you don't like or you don't have an attraction to, bro. You just not. As a human being, I know for a fact I'm not, bro. I'm paying attention to things that I genuinely got an admiration for. And a lot of the times the people judging you, bro, they're literally admiring you and they like how you look, but they just don't understand why, you know. But at the end of the day, regardless if they like how you look or not, or say anything about it, that look belongs to you. That's your archetype. That nobody created that but you. So it's like nobody has control over that, bro. He said it's insecurities when you confident you look different. People don't like that because
Hope one
they
strong.
don't like, but you chilling having your own look. Exactly. But one thing too that you said that's very important is the confidence in being who you are. That's the issue right there. You know, and I feel like that's what makes somebody stand out. Because if you look around the world, bro, they want everybody to look the same, act the same, be the same. I don't want to be nothing like anybody else. You know, personally, I love who I am. You know what I mean? And I could get more views without with showing my face, bro. When I go on TikTok, they be like, "Oh, you look like this person, you look like that
47,
person,"
clear.
and I looked at like look at them like, bro, I just look like me. I'm not trying to look like this person. I'm like trying to look like that person. People been be like, "Oh yeah, you like the." You like Luke Dennis, you know, relating to Duke Dennis is like, bro, respectfully, I would never want to look like Duke Dennis. I don't care if Duke Dennis got 300 girls every second. He said someone told me I should shave my beard. I said nah, I don't grow so that other people don't like it. Yeah, but Machine Dean, you get it though, bro. And once you get that part of life, you can be happy. When I say you can be happy, it's like what you truly understand is, bro. I own my look. I am the master of my look. If I want to look like Bozo the clown from It, I'm gonna be looking like Bozo the clown from It. If I want to look like I sleep on the bench outside, I'm gonna look like I sleep like the bench out on the bench outside. If I want to look like I'm one of the Black Rock owners, investors, crypto guys, I'm gonna look like that guy. If I want to look like I'm just a chill, smooth skateboarder type guy, I'm gonna look like that guy. I am the sole decision maker of this look. If I want to come out tomorrow and look like one of the rappers from 2006, I'm going to look like one of the rappers from 2006, you know? And in high school, bro, this is one thing I learned. Like, bro, in high school, I used to get old school haircuts. When I say old school haircuts, I mean the eraser top, the hot top, the flat top. This was prior to that being a wave. And I specifically remember people when I come to school, they'll be like, "Oh, who you think you trying to be? You trying to go back to the retro days?" Nah, I genuinely like them haircuts. Literally, I love having haircuts that I didn't see people having. And the craziest part is after that, me rocking that, bro. It was a whole wave of people getting eraser tops, flat tops. I know you guys remember. I know you guys remember, bro. You know what I'm saying? Organic said exactly, and I don't care how people think.
47
That's a
here.
fact. Cause I grow my hair for my own
Pick up
spiritual
yellow 2.
reasons.
Good guys.
Exactly, bro. Bro. I used to work at the hospital,
Copy
man, and
148.
I have very dark features, bro. So I dang near look like a chocolate guy. You know what I mean? Like, and I like that. So personally, I used to work at a hospital, and while working at the hospital, man, I had a guy that I would say hi to here and there. You know, this guy wasn't like a friend of mine or nothing. It's just somebody that you see every day when you at work. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say an acquaintance, but maybe sometimes you guys might say hi here and there, but that's it. So one day I'm walking in the hospital. This when I had dreads, and you know I had dreads. My dreads was pretty long at the time. I had my beard with it, and this guy literally came up to me and said, "Look, your hair is too dark. I think you should dye it." And I was like, "Nah, bro. I like my hair dark. You know what I mean? Cause a lot of my features are just dark features, bro. Like my hair is a little darker than normal. Like it's no dye. That's just the color of my hair." But for him to come and tell me I need to dye my hair because it's too dark was like, yo, what is he on? Like, but then it's like, okay, somebody who's insecure about how they look, guess what is gonna happen? That's gonna play on their mental, bro. When I say play on their mental, they're gonna be thinking like, maybe my hair is too dark. Maybe I should dye my hair because this person said something to me. You know, maybe it's not a good look. But I'm looking at this guy like, man, get your goofy ass on, bruh. My hair is my hair at the end of the day. If it's dark, if it's light, if it's mid, if it's
Okay, yeah. 52.
auburn, autumn, whatever, ombre. That's the word I'm looking for. Ombre. You know how the girls have one light, one dark. If it's ombre, bro, that's my choice, bro. You have no decision making as far as anyone
47
else's
picked
look.
up 1 in the ramp
Unless you
and
have
grenade.
kids. Unless you have kids,
Yep.
but even then, your kids, you're only so restricted as far as like how you want them to look, you know, because at some point they develop their own looks. You know what I mean? He said, "Yeah, I have jet black hair. Yeah, mine's is jet black, ginger beard. My dad was ginger, and people think I got hot sauce in my beard. It's like nah, but see that's the thing right there. A person gonna be like, oh, why dude walking around with food in his beard, but not knowing like, yo, this is this man's natural colors and roots within his hair, bro. You know what I mean? I got jet black hair too, gang. It's like to me, it's like abnormally black. You know what I mean? But dude came up to me like, yo, man, you gotta dye that hair. Your hair is too black. And I'm looking like this man is out of his mind. But a person who is insecure about how they look, meaning that they don't really fully feel confident, fully own this look. You gotta own your look, bro. You gotta own your look like you about to hit the runway. You gotta own your every day that you wake up, bro, and you look in the mirror, you gotta own that look. Like you about to model for some company. You know what I'm saying? Cause when you look at models, bro, these I mean, besides being skinny, you know, they want all models to be super skinny, which is cool, but they want them to be anorexic. You know what I mean? But besides the anorexia part, like when you look at models, they have distinct weird looks. You know what I mean? They don't all look the same, bro. Minus the skinny part. They have distinct different looks. And he said, God made me, yeah. And bro, Machine, nobody has that say but God. If God wanna Bro, you hear stories of this, right? You hear stories of this. You hear stories of 1 second here. I gotta help these folks. 1 second, don't leave. Yeah, sorry guys, duty calls, but you know, what I was about to say is think about this, man. Think about this, right? when a model agency comes and they say, "Hey, Machine Dean or YsEats, we want you to represent our product." Why are they coming to you? Because they admire the way you look. You know what I'm saying? And even though you're gonna uh, broadcast their product, guess what they tell you once you hit the runway? They say, "Hey, YsEats, Machine Dean, you gotta own your look. Though you got a product on, you gotta own your look." So when I say own your look, bro, it's like, okay, wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror. Man, I got a fat ass nose. I like that nose. You know what I mean? That nobody can come and say, bro, you need to get a nose job. You know what I'm saying? I'ma just laugh at them. Like, yeah, bro, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I like this nose though. I got the sniffer, you know what I mean? Snouty. You feel me? So I can't be affected by somebody making a comment like that. People get affected when people make comments because these things that they just tell themselves they don't like about themselves. But you have to like that. That's your archetype. That's your build. You feel what I'm saying? That's your build. If God wanted you to be a different build, he could literally make me wake up tomorrow and I could be 6'7". I ain't trying to say that number. It's just a number that popped up. But think about what I'm saying. There's people like they're probably like 5'10" their whole life. Buddy wakes up one morning, he's 6'6". So he just got an upgrade from out of nowhere. Cause they call it growth spurt though, right? But that's just a small example of the power, who holds the power to our looks. You feel what I mean? He said people only get affected by those comments when they're uncomfortable. Exactly. So that's one thing I'm telling people is like you gotta own your look because I can come and say something about you. Your neighbor can come say something. Your mom, your aunt. We don't have no control over that look. The only time we have control is if you feel like you don't look like what you think you look like. When you don't think you look like what you think you look like, and we say something to you, you're gonna go home, you're gonna think about it, you're gonna start making changes. But only God has the decision on how we look. Cause I just gave you a prime example, bro. You know how many people wish they could be 6'2", 6'3"? Because they just want to be 6'2", 6'3", but they can't unless they go get surgery for that. But God can say, "Yo, man, Machine Dean, YsEats, when you guys wake up tomorrow morning, you guys are gonna be 6'2". It happens all the time. You know, it happens all the time, and there isn't a actual person that's like, "Oh, I helped this person get 6'2". No. Sometimes you go to the doctor, and the doctor like, "Man, this kid's gonna be 5'11". Next thing you know, you 6'7". The doctor was like, "Man, I didn't expect this," because even the doctor doesn't have control over that look. You get what I'm saying? And if a lot of people was comfortable with how they look, bro, they wouldn't be getting plastic surgery, bro. Like if you look at the world from I would say 2020 to 2025, bro, look at the amount of surgeries that people got from people getting BBLs, guys getting fake abs, guys getting leg surgeries for height enhancement. Bro, a lot of these people don't like how they look. And the saddest part is even after doing all of that, it's like there's no security still. Somebody who when they got a BBL, they still don't like how they look. They just walk around with a BBL. Somebody that when they got height surgery, they still don't like how they look. They just walk around with a couple more inches. This is facts. Bro, I'm telling you, this is facts, bro. This is facts, man. So you gotta own your look, man. Nobody else owns your look, bro. Not the TV, not your job, not your mom, not you own your look. God said, "Look, I want you to look like this." As you went, you got more into your characteristics, your archetype. Like, okay, I like this, I like that, I like this. This represents my style. You feel me? It's not me making those decisions. It's God made the decision. You feel me? And the craziest part is about I heard something. It's like, bro, and prior to us coming here, because y'all got to think about it. They say it was like a million sperm, and we made it, right? So if we was the ones who made it, we already had a perceived concept of how we wanted to look. I'm gonna be honest with you. They say we have a perceived concept of how we want to look in this world, bro. So we chose to look like this, and the only thing I don't really like that people do is I would never stare at a handicapped person to make them uncomfortable. You feel what I'm saying? Because anybody that wasn't handicapped and something happened to them to tragically make them handicapped, that person had an altered look that wasn't original. So their way of thinking is different. Like oftentimes I see people in public, bro, they just looking at a handicapped person like this is an animal at the zoo, and it's like, oh, bro, this is a regular human. Why are you staring this person down like you never seen a human before? He's like, exactly my reason why I grew out my hair and beard because made me look cut my ass. Yeah, you gotta embrace it. You know how many people I got braids, Machine Dean. It's a lot of people that like, oh, you need to go back to short hair and waves and it's just more cleaner. And I'm like, bro, man, what? I like braids right now, man. I'm rocking braids. I'm not doing what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? It's bro. I never been the type to really take consideration as far as like really altering something that I really like, man, because it's my life. I listen to my pops, but as far as others, letting others predict how I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to be, nah, that's something I gotta know myself, and I gotta get better if I feel improve, not improve, and all that goes with owning my looks, owning my soul, my character, man. And I tell y'all, bro, don't let nobody out there make you feel like you ain't nothing because they don't like how you look. Really, they really like how you look. They just don't know how to be like, yo, Machine Dean, I ain't gonna lie, you one smooth cat. I ain't gonna lie, or you dress nice. Like, bro, you know how many people don't got what it takes to tell you that? A lot, bro. I used to be I used to be in the studio with guys that once had relationship with other artists that are literally watching these guys' videos, bro. I ain't gonna name drop. They watching these dudes' videos and they'll be like, man, these dudes, we used to be cool with these dudes. These dudes cold now. They make good music now, but they never reach out to them because they feel like if they was to reach out to this person who they had a past relationship with and probably fell out over something stupid, that it would take something away from them. Bro, it's a lot of people that's scared to give you credit because they don't want you to think, or have an idea that they admire you, bro. Most of the time, the people that's admiring you with your beard and your hair, bro, they wish they had a beard and hair. They wish they could walk around confident like that, but they don't have that ability because they don't like how they look. So someone has basically got in their mind and convinced them that, oh, hey, you don't look good. And it's like, okay, well, what is the criteria for looking good? Cause we gotta really break that down. If we're having criteria for how people should be looking. One second here, let me help this individual. Yeah, so we gotta set the criteria, man. I mean, what's the criteria for somebody that looks the best? You know what I mean? And I want to know because if you ask everyone in the world, it's not gonna be a specific criteria, bro. Everybody's gonna look max or want different things. Yeah, exactly. We gotta own. We literally gotta own our looks, Machine Dean, and owning our looks, bro. Nobody has the determination to make us feel like we don't look how we look. Cause half the people that's saying that to you, anyways, they wish they could rock a beard like you. They wish they could look smooth as you, dressed like you. One second, this lady really might need help, even though she said she didn't. One second, y'all. Yeah, man. Sorry about that, guys. But what I was saying is, as far as how people should look, there should be a criteria, man. That way we can determine who's right for judging others and who's doesn't fit the criteria. You know what I mean? Like imagine you be like, yeah, I don't like that person. Then somebody walk up to you like, well, when you say you don't like a person, please list the criteria as to why you don't like this person. You know what I mean? Then you can go on a list of things you don't like. I don't like their hair. I don't like their cheeks. I don't like their stance. Because bro, not liking how somebody looks is like, bro, that's none of your business. Do you like how you look? Because that's what's more important. How do you look? Because you gotta look too. You know what I'm saying? And I see it happen all the time, bro. I'm telling you, like, a person will be so concerned with how this person look or how this person look, and it's like, oh, bro, are you caring about how you look? Because you have a look. We all have a certain look, and it's like own that look. You gotta look at yourself like you's a model, even if you're not trying to model for, Calvin Klein or whatever, bro. When you put them clothes on, feel good. He said, plus someone can look good on the outside. Bro, a lot of people that look good on the outside are nasty people, bro. I've been around a few, man. You know what I mean? Like my homie, like I told you about this man. This man used to talk to his girlfriend like she was a piece of garbage. And his girlfriend was a nice girl, bro. I specifically remember he talked to her crazy, bro. And he only did that because a lot of the girls at school made him feel like he was just the ultimate looking. You know what I mean? But the moral of the story is when the girl broke up with this guy was so heartbroken, he had to move to a different state. This is a true story. And I used to watch this man slick his hair back so many times before we go play basketball whatsoever, and because people had idolized him to the point where they made him feel like he was like Fabio or something. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, like I said, people gonna despise you or idolize you, but it's just admiration. The ones who get idolized, brings up the ego. That's the ones that go around and they treat people like shit because people have told them they're so good looking. They're so good looking. You know what I mean? And they, bro, I'm telling you, bro, the way my man used to talk to his girl, I'm surprised he didn't break up with this fool a minute ago. Like, but all that look maxing and went to his head, like, bro, I think everybody looks good as they are because there's no criteria for the norm of a look. You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at the standard for like SUV, sedan, truck, that's a norm. These are categories. When you talk about how people look, there's no criteria to categorize the best look. It ain't like cars where it's like, oh, SUV, sedan, minivan. When I say that, it's like, okay, these are the normal categories for a different style of vehicles. Grind Life Production, what's going on? Shout out to Grind Life Productions in the building. When it comes to people, bro, there is no norm for how we should all be looking, bro. It's literally open. It's up to us. If I want to look like Jeff Hardy, I might come here looking like Jeff Hardy. If I want to look like The Rock, I'm gonna show up looking like The Rock. Can you smell, bro? If I want to show up looking like Fabulous, I'm gonna show up looking like Fabulous, bro. If I want to show up looking like LeBron James, I'm gonna show up looking like LeBron James because nobody has that decision making except me. Don't let nobody make you feel like, yo, you gotta change how you look. All you gotta do is own your look. We all models, bro. We just don't model for Balenciaga and then Calvin Klein. We all models, bro. We guys models, man. God made us to look this way. God made us to look this way, bro. You know what I mean? If God ain't make us to look this way, then we would look different. Just as how God made us to look this way, He can change that. You know what I mean? God can make you wake up tomorrow, grind life. You 6'7". Yeah. You 7 feet. You know what I mean? Machine Dean, you wake up tomorrow, you have y'all feel what I'm saying? Like all that decision is up to to God, man. It's not up to a person. Now, even when you look at making kids, because this is why I want to out. This is, before I leave the live, I want y'all to take this with y'all, bro. This is probably the most important thing right here. At some point, we all might be parents, as if you want kids, right? And when you think about making kids, right, you don't even have control over how that look of a kid comes, unless you're into like genetic engineering and you got like billions of dollars, bro. If you got billions of dollars, this don't apply to you, fam. You could go say, hey, I want your baby blue hair, green eye. You could do that. If you regular without billions of dollars and you go out there, you knock up a shorty. Once your baby come out, the baby's gonna pick certain characteristics and looks from each of you guys and put them together and create a look. You and the wife are not gonna determine how this baby looks. That's like a different part of life. If you get what I'm saying, because most people, even when they have babies, they say, "I want my baby to look like this. I want my baby to look like this. I want my baby." If they don't got $1 billion, bro, I ain't gonna lie, they have no control over that. They just gotta take care of themselves. Long as they're taking care of themselves, the baby gonna come out decent. The baby gonna come out messed up when you're not taking care of yourself. But the only people that got the full control are the billionaires. They can go to the hospital and say, "Hey, I need you to find me a Middle Eastern Arab, and she needs to be 5'7" because I'm 6'6", and I want our baby to be around 6'1", and we need our baby to have these characteristics." Bro, that's the only time, bro. If you're not a billionaire with $1 billion, bro, your kid is gonna come out to look how God wanted to look. And as a person, I've seen people that had autistic kids and they love their kids, bro. They love their kids regardless of how their kids came out. You feel me? Now there's people that did have autistic kids that they had a hard time dealing with that. Why? Because they don't even like themselves. So how can they like something they produce that isn't what they would want it to be? Because these people don't even like themselves, bro. Because you always gotta think about that. You might have kids one day. You gotta love yourself right now, homie. Because if you have a kid, bro, and you have an autistic kid, God forbid or whatsoever, you gotta love that kid. You gotta love that kid. Or if your kid has a deformity or something, you gotta love that kid. So start loving yourself right now. You let all these people telling you how you gotta be and how you gotta look, man. Who cares, bro? These people gotta go home at the end of the day, make sure they look good. You know what I'm saying? These people, funniest thing is, bro, these people that's that's telling y'all this stuff, they not even on GQ. Like, bro, even if somebody was on GQ, bro, like, I'm still not listening to them. You feel me? But I'm just saying, 1 second, guys. 18, we have a party of one entering the lot. But I'm just saying, if these people was on GQ, right, they wouldn't even look how you want to look. Because I'm gonna be honest, anything high end fashion, that's they be wearing weird stuff, bro. They be looking weird to me personally. But that's my personal opinion. I don't have no say in that. You know what I mean? But imagine a person that's not even on GQ, a sponsored model, telling you look like a piece of crap, and you're listening to him. I mean, I could understand if it was like this is a GQ model and you follow this person and you might be influenced a little bit, but bro, you got people working in the kitchen with you, fool. People working in the same job as you, living in the same building as you, telling you don't look good, and you listening to them.
47 clear. Is anybody picking up on the lot?
It ain't like this person is the most handsome rated guy, most beautiful woman, Miss Universe, and you listening to them? Come on, man. You bugged out. Moment you start listening to somebody like that, you're bugged out because look, this person is nothing special, bro. They're nothing special. They're special in their own realm, in their own way. How we are all special in our own way, but they're not more special than you to tell you how you look. They not God. And I don't want y'all to forget this. Start loving yourself. We all gotta have kids, man. Some people despise their kids because how their kids look. You know how many baby mothers despise a kid because the kid look like the dad? and it don't make sense. Cause how can she despise a guy she once was attracted to, right? But this why looks is superficial, bro. It's so superficial. It's like, bro, what if we all didn't really look like this? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Shrek, bro. Shrek is a prime example of that. Y'all see how everybody treated Shrek when he was the ogre. You feel me? Then when Shrek turned into Prince Charming, that boy Shrek had more emotion than the king. I'm not gonna hold you. Shrek had all the motion, man. People wanted to give him free clothes. Women wanted to just cater to him. Like even the king loved him. You know what I mean? But when he was the ogre, they like no.
47 picked up one on the lot.
It's very superficial, man. And I love you guys out there, man. I just wanted to make this live on looking. You guys are all beautiful in your own way. We all are made specifically according to God's liking. You know what I'm saying? As you continue in life and you go out there, man, remember you own your look. You're a model. We are all models. Nobody has a say in how we are supposed to look except the Lord Himself. You know what I mean? So don't let that bring you down, or don't feed too much into the idolization of how people are attracted to the way you look, because at the end of the day, it's not important, bro. It's all about you liking how you look, being who you are, doing what you want in this lifetime. You heard? I love y'all, man. I'm out of here.